Never let a man fly you out anywhere for anything, any trip. Unless you were dating a man, he should not be flying you out anywhere. On top of that, like, to each their own. I think anybody that accepts like expensive gifts and this and that from like older men, what are you doing? I don't even care if you're just having a conversation with a man. You're not paying me to talk to you. Like, do you realize how weird that is?
What's really not strange is this. What's strange is that you women hate taking responsibility for your own actions. If you know you're not interested in a guy, why go on a trip with him? If you know you don't want anything with him, why accept his gifts? You love making fools out of men, but not every man is someone you can play with. Today we're looking at, I miss the attention I got in my 20s. Women over 30 hit the wall. But before we get started, make sure to like the video and leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it.
I made a video the other day talking about how since I've been in my 20s, I get approached less by grown men than I noticed that I did when I was a teenager. And incels took that and ran. And they told me that I'm too old, I'm expired. Have I ever considered that maybe I'm ugly, that I gained a bunch of weight? Son, I get approached every single day that I leave the house. I live in a major city, a lot of men. My complaint, or what I noticed was that the age of the people has changed. I now get approached more by men my own age instead of getting approached by 60-year-old men all the time. So maybe next time, instead of telling me that I'm chopped and unk, let's take that energy and let's focus it on you because you clearly need the work.
I'm 35, I've got no children, and should tell you what I hate more than anything. When people go, oh, do you not want a boyfriend? Do you not want children? You're getting on a bit, aren't you? Go away. Like, we do not need the pressure from society that we need to have marriage by a certain age, children, or whatever. We have enough pressure from ourselves. Maybe if you don't want it at all, then fair enough. I am single by choice now. But it's just really annoying when people give their opinion when we don't want it. Like, I've seen friends who are single and feel like absolute crap because they feel people going, oh, why don't you want children? Like, why haven't you got children by now? I feel like we don't need it. People prioritise their career, buying a house, travelling, or just not on the cards. And not just for women, for men too. I feel like men might get it too. I don't know, I'm not a man. But I just feel like keep your opinion to yourself because you don't know how that person feels about the whole situation. And I feel like it is a very personal matter for a lot of people. A bit like asking a married couple when they're going to have children, when they've just got married. You don't know what's going on. Anyway, my rant for the night. Have a great night. Bye.
It bothers you when people ask because that question forces you to face what you don't want to admit. Time doesn't wait, and behind that, I'm single by choice line is a loneliness that hurts far more than you're willing to confess. And the people putting the most pressure on you aren't strangers. They're your own mother and father, watching their daughter miss her chance while she keeps convincing herself that she's still finding herself. Now, the second woman is experiencing what it feels like to lose the attention she once had. As women get older, they start noticing they no longer receive the same benefits from men. The men who pursue them aren't the ones they want, while the men they do want are chasing younger women instead. In simple terms, her appeal is fading because she's hit the wall, and just like the wall itself, time doesn't forgive.
Want to know if a girl likes you? Try the knee test. Sit right next to her, have your knee touch her knee. If she pulls it away, she doesn't like you. If she keeps it there, you've got this, champ.
Hi, my name's Courtney. I'm 29, and I have been single my entire adult life. I've been all the phases of single that one could think of, but very rarely do I feel lonely. Lonely in the sense of, I wish I had a boyfriend. And I've been reflecting on this as to why. If I'm to explain my situation to people, not that being single is a situation, but anyway, the first thing that they will say is, but you're really independent. True, But I do not think this is the reason why I'm so good at being single. I think the magic source is the opposite of that. I think it's shared vulnerability. Being vulnerable with many, building deep relationships and connections with many in different community types, people of different ages, people of different backgrounds, different experiences. Having different types of relationships that you can call on in different scenarios. Not one person, whether it be a significant other or a friend, is going to be able to show up and give you everything. They are a human. They have their own shit going on. So how can you build relationships with many? If you want a village, be a villager. It's a lot of trust, allowing yourself to actually be supported by these people. I love going it alone. I can sort this out. I've been in therapy for 7 years. I know all the fucking things. But going it alone can be a lot of a missed opportunity of healing and problem solving and growing. Taking the time to pause and to soften, to lean into people and open up to people and get their perspectives allows it to transmit into growth, alchemizes the situation and what you're feeling and what you're experiencing into a deeper friendship, into a deeper relationship. I think that's really special. So if you're to ask me, the secret sauce to be single, it is not hyper independence and going it alone. It is the opposite. It is being able to lean in and to be vulnerable, to connect with your community, whatever that looks like.
Have you noticed that as soon as a woman gets close to 30, the first thing that shows up is therapy? And let's be clear, the problem isn't independence. She says that herself. What nobody wants to admit is what's really happening. They don't lower their standards. Let me give you a simple example. If you decide you want a white 2025 Toyota SUV, from that moment on, you'll start seeing it everywhere. On the road, at traffic lights, in parking lots. Your brain filters reality based on what you're focused on, and suddenly it feels like there are thousands of them. That's exactly what's happening to her with men. The problem isn't that there are no men. The problem is which men she chooses to notice. Modern culture convinced her that she deserves the winner, the high-value man, the Chad. And once she's looking through that filter, the average guy, the man who's actually on her level, the one she could build something real with, becomes invisible. It's not that she can't find what she's looking for. It's that she's only looking in a category of men who aren't looking for her. Meanwhile, the clock keeps ticking. The wall doesn't forgive.
Women.
Question for the men. Do you guys think it's trashy or sexy if a woman has tattoos? Is like too many too much? Is it just super hot if it's all over the place? Do you not like them on the face? What do y'all think? Like, I love tattoos. I've got them. But also, I like my tattoos where I can cover them up and be a lady if I need to cover them up. Like, I don't think I'd put them on my face or my chest or, you know, places that can't be covered up. But also, I'm not hating if you do because I think they look hot on women. I think tattoos look hot. But do you guys prefer your woman with or without them? I mean, to each their own, right? Like, every guy is kind of different. But people in my comments sometimes be like, oh, that's why you don't have a man because you have tattoos. I'm like, then I only date men with tattoos. Because I think they're hot. I think a man with tattoos is fucking fine. Sexy. That's the kind I want. So if you don't like my tattoos, I guess you don't like me. And that's okay. You don't have to like me.
Oh, hell no!
I just saw a TikTok of a guy basically saying that not everybody is replaceable and to not take advantage of good people. And I do agree, but I also have some points. And I also just recently had a conversation about this exact thing with one of my friends. Men think that there is an abundance of good women. And I feel like I say specifically men because this is where I see it most often. A lot of women will settle. And I think that that's the issue. I wish it was switched. I wish women would do this kind of, but like it's not a good thing either way. Women see good in men
and they understand and they settle for the things that just tick them off, which I feel like is okay in a good relationship. We're all human, right? We all have like little quirks and kinks that maybe another human wouldn't exactly like or love. But specifically men, I see this a lot when men will leave perfectly good women and just be like, well, I'll find better. I'll find someone hotter. I'll find someone who can do X, Y, and Z for me more than you can. But when is it enough? At what point do you say, yes, this woman is enough? And when I was having a conversation with my friend about this, he was talking about the fact that he dates casually because he wants to see what's out there, right? He wants to see how good it can get. And I told him that exact thing. At what point do you stop? At what point has it become as good as it can get? I don't think that anyone is replaceable. We are all so different. But I do think that there is better to an extent. I don't think that we should constantly degrade humans for being humans and, oh, he made a mistake, so that means that he can never be in my life again. But there are boundaries, and I think that a lot of women need to set more standards and stop settling for the big things, right? The cheating, the degrading you, the constantly, like, never making you fucking happy, always making you stressed. But, oh, sometimes he rubs my back. He fills up my water bottle. All of those things that are, like, the little small things that are so great are so fucking easy. It's so easy to do. And you should never settle for someone who cannot do the little things because those are the easiest things to do. But it's really the big things. The big things. You shouldn't settle for someone who cannot accommodate the big things like loyalty, like degrading you. A man who degrades you when he's mad and only when he's mad, just because he's mad is not the pass. It's disrespectful. So yeah, I don't think that everybody's replaceable. I do think that there's better, but I think at some point you have to stop and be like, okay, like this is the good. This is the good. This is it.
I'm really curious about something. If it's not all men, why is it always a man? It's not women leaving derogatory comments. It is men. It's not women insulting my appearance in the comments. It's men. It's not women telling me, good luck dying alone, or I hope you're happy with all your cats. It's men. It's not women sending me messages that should never be sent. It's men. It's not women inserting themselves in conversations that they don't belong in. It's men. It's not women laughing at my content that helps women. It's men. It's always a man doing these things. And the number of comments that I remove, the number of men that I have to block, it is astounding. So maybe it's not all men, but it is too many. And I know my content is for women, but this question is for men. What is going on? Why do you think it's okay to make these comments, to laugh at my content, to come into this space that I've created for women that is a safe place for them, to insert yourself into it and make it about you? What is going on with you? Why do you think these things are okay? And if you think those things are okay, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from the men that want to be a part of change. That's it. The rest of you, I don't want to hear from you. I am done with you.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Most men reject tattoos. They don't like women who look masculine. And in many cases, tattoos give off a masculine appearance. Don't get me wrong, a small tattoo is fine. But when a woman has her entire body covered in tattoos, it honestly doesn't look attractive. The second woman is someone who got left, yet she believes she's the better woman, when in reality, it may have simply been a matter of compatibility. Just because you see a woman who's beautiful and kind in one area of her life doesn't mean you've seen the whole picture. She might be beautiful and a great worker, but terrible at taking care of her man, and even worse to live with. I've seen plenty of beautiful women whose homes look like pigsties the moment you walk through the door. As for the last woman, I'll say this. Someone who's in the same situation as you isn't the one judging you. But when a man tells you that, with that mindset, you'll end up alone carrying the weight of your own choices. It's because he sees you're heading down the wrong path and believes you need a strong message to wake up.
So much of what is considered objective fact in our world has been molded by the biases that men inserted into their documentation. For example, the 28-day calendar that's actually menstruation. Ancient societies putting objects higher up not for spiritual reasons, but for safety reasons to keep them out of the hands of children. And lastly, the archaeologist who saw bones and materials for hunting and assumed without any further testing that they had to belong to male bones, when actually we're finding out men and women hunted equally. As a result of these biases, we are left with a stereotype all across society that men are naturally hunters, when that's not true at all. But I really want to talk about another example that popped up for me recently that's been gnawing at me for a couple of days. I've been talking about height preferences and dating on my page the last couple of weeks, and somebody linked a study trying to talk about their point. And I read this study and I have a problem with it, and let me explain why. This, by the way, is an example of how to actually critique a paper. The study is called Women Want Taller Men More Than Men Want Shorter Women, and in it, the authors conclude, without any data to back it up, that men's confidence in their height is dependent on women choosing them. Could it maybe be that women prefer a certain height because they know it means a man is more likely to be confident? Something the authors of this paper didn't consider. These are the only survey questions asked: preferred height, minimally acceptable, maximally acceptable in a partner, degree of satisfaction with their own height, and if they were in a relationship, the partner's actual height and satisfaction with their partner's height. Keep that in mind. That's important. So why then are they talking about motivation behind these findings as if they are objective truth? The articles in this paper state these motivations that are largely a result of their own biases as if they are an empirical conclusion to the data that they provided in this paper, and it's just not. This paper is essentially concluding that men's self-confidence is dependent on women and women choosing them specifically, which not only puts the blame on women and fuels hatred and misogyny, but it's also just not true. There isn't evidence in this paper to suggest that that's the reason. The men writing this paper haven't considered the fact that women might actually prefer men of that height because of their self-confidence, because that height range is more likely to be a man that is confident, not the other way around. And women watching this know this to be true. It reminds me of the Barbie movie where they say that Ken only has a good day if Barbie gives him attention. To be clear, it is perfectly normal for peer-reviewed studies to discuss possible reasons or motivations for their results that should be studied in the future. What is not normal is stating this as if it is a definitive fact or something that has resulted from the data you are looking at. This is a lack of integrity based on one's own biases. Satisfaction with one's own height is contingent on the preference for partner height expressed by the opposite sex. The data that they have does not show this. This is actually all the data found, that there is a correlation between your own height and how satisfied you are with your height. And then also with satisfaction with your partner's height and how much taller or shorter they are than you. It does not talk about at all the meaning behind that. This is correlation without causation. This is inserting your own bias into your study data. And this snowballs further and further. Men read this and they get confirmation bias because they think that this is true, and it becomes objective fact, even though the study does not have data that supports this.
She talks for so long just to say so many ridiculous things. Modern women spend their time criticizing everything men have built, yet they continue benefiting from everything men do. As a whole, women are able to live the lives they do because men have built and continue to maintain the systems that keep society safe and functioning. It's true that there are bad men, but it's also men who are the ones protecting women from those men. The obsession with height became much more common because of dating apps and social media, where women openly started listing a man's height as a requirement for dating. But if you, as a man, say you prefer a woman who's slim or a little curvy, many women immediately lose their minds. See the irony? We've reached the end of the video, but before you go, here are a couple of questions for you. At what point did telling a woman the truth become something people automatically label as misogyny? Do excessive tattoos become a red flag for you when you're considering a woman for a serious relationship? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.